Oh no. Okay, now you guys are really starting to piss me off. As it turns out, and to absolutely no one's surprise, a lot of Christian and evangelical charity work and organizations is at least partially government funded. Who would have known? These USAID cuts are absolutely terrible and devastating to people in need. But a while ago, I did kind of make fun of and point out the contradictions. I'll admit I was a little bit confused when people who claim to live their lives according to the teachings of Jesus, like taking care of the poor and the sick, things you guys call socialism. Aren't those practices like the main points of your handbook? Would chomp at the bit to put the literal Antichrist in charge, a guy who eschews all of that. But you guys kind of explained it yourselves. And if that's the choice you made, I mean, fine. At least you're no longer pretending to believe in what Jesus taught. Though some of you guys would say that it's actually just about wanting to get every other guy named Jesus out of the country. Not that your Jesus would necessarily love that. But I digress. Because what do you mean groups that supposedly preach charity and taking care of the sick and the poor, who have simultaneously had an issue with anyone doing just that, are suddenly not on board with these cuts? Quote, "Let's bring God back into our lives," said Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast, while simultaneously cutting aid to millions. Something that evangelicals love to hear, but hate to practice, said the Vice President of Government Relations at the National Association of Evangelicals. Quote, "This review and reform can be achieved without the wholesale disruption of the many programs that are working well and saving lives. All of a sudden, you guys care. Funny. Why?" Oh, right, because it's affecting you guys. The director of health and nutrition at World Relief, a Christian humanitarian organization, said, quote, "Stop work orders have made things really challenging for us in the last few weeks." No kidding. Quote, "This is damaging and wasteful. Some of our members and partners are experiencing crippling cash flow crises, necessitating mass layoffs and abrupt termination of services with no time for responsible transitions." No kidding. Listen, I get it, right? Because with you guys, it seems like the hypocrisy is the point. Because as the research shows, this is from ProPublica about attitudes towards government assistance to the poor, Christians consistently believe it does more harm than good than anyone else, despite the fact that it's Christian organizations that are among USAID's largest grant recipients. I'm starting to think that your guys' thing isn't about helping the poor at all and just about taking the credit. But that's not that crazy of a revelation, right? After all, in all of your statements and quotes about exactly how harmful and disruptive these cuts would be, you made sure to reaffirm that you're very supportive of all of these cuts, including for aid programs, just not the ones that apply to you.